All right, so in this next part, we're going to be looking at the graph that we created for tangents and looking at the patterns and seeing if we could use those patterns to find some values. All right, so remember things that we want to talk about, things that we talked about in the past would have been x-intercepts. We would have talked about maxes and mins, but if you notice in this graph, I'm not going to have any maxes and mins because the range is all real numbers. But I want to talk about x-intercepts, and then the new thing that we want to talk about is where do we have the asymptotes. So those are going to be the two things that really drive what we know about tangent. Okay, so if we look at this, I have an x-intercept at 0 pi. I have another x-intercept at 1 pi and another x-intercept at 2 pi. So like we said, my x-intercepts are going to happen at integer pi. Okay, now if we were doing this fancy, we would have said n times pi, where n is an integer, but I'm just doing this a little bit loose, just looking at patterns. So then if we look at our asymptotes, I've got an asymptote at negative 1 pi over 2. I have an asymptote at positive 1 pi over 2, another asymptote at 3 pi over 2. And so we can say my asymptotes occur at odd integer pi over 2. Okay, so when I have an x-intercept, that means my y is equal to 0. And when I have an asymptote, that means that my answer is going to be undefined. Okay, so that means coming up here, if I want the tangent of 9 pi over 2, well, I would describe that as an odd pi over 2. So coming down here, we said odd pi over 2s are going to give me an asymptote, and so that means that that tangent value is undefined. When I look at this next question, this is tangent of negative pi, or we could call it the tangent of negative 1 times pi if we wanted to. So negative 1 is an integer, so we're talking about an integer times pi situation. And we said anytime that happens, I've got an x-intercept, and so that means that my y value is 0. So tangent of negative pi would be 0. Looking at the next set of questions, in this case, this one is going to say find the values for theta. So where the previous problem, I already knew the theta and I was looking for the y value. In this case, I know the y value and now I'm looking for the theta value. Okay, so some y values that we're going to be looking at, I've got y values of 0. And so that's going to be my x-intercept. So y is equal to 0 at an x-intercept. And we said that that occurs when we have an integer times pi. Okay. We're not going to say the tangent of theta is undefined. It's not going to say that in one of these questions, but I do have positive 1 here. And you'll notice positive 1 happened, for example, when y is equal to 1. Let's see if we can get this on the screen. That happened over here at pi over 4. And then it happened again at 5 pi over 4. So notice 1 pi over 4 became 5 pi over 4. And then the next time it happened, 7 pi, 8 pi would be 9 pi over 4. And so do you agree that, do you see that we're increasing by 4 pi over 4? So let's think about that. 4 pi over 4 is really just pi. So do you see that we get pi over 4 plus pi over 4 plus 2 pi, etc. Okay, and so we set up here tangent of theta is equal to 0 when I have an x-intercept, and so that's going to be an integer times theta, so that's going to be theta is equal to n times pi, where n is an integer. And tangent of theta is positive 1, starting at pi over 4, and then increasing by 4 pi over 4 each time, so that means 5 pi over 4, 9 pi over 4, I could go the other direction and subtract and say negative 3 pi over 4 would give me a value of 1, right? And so the pattern is the difference each time is pi. So I'm going to say I've got pi over 4 as my original amount, and I can add pi to it as many times as I want, where n is an integer. So you're looking at a pattern and you're saying, how can I turn this into a formula? So if I'm adding by pi each time, I could add it once, I could add it twice, I could add it 3 times, so I can add it n times where n is an integer. So this whole thing is the answer to the question. So now if we want to talk about how do we actually graph this. So you'll notice we have a lot of stuff going on here. So my parent graph is going to be back to this y is equal to tangent of theta. And so now I want to talk about what happens if I have 1/2 theta minus pi over 4 plus 1. How does that change? And so what we're going to do is we're going to graph it as a rough draft here with no phase shift, and then graph it with the phase shift. And I'll probably bring in some graph paper just so that I have it with the nice units. All right. So my amplitude, that's still the absolute value of A. And so my amplitude is going to be the absolute value of 1, which is 1. So that's nice. I don't have to worry about a vertical stretch. My period, the normal period for tangent is going to be pi. So if I do my scale factor, which is 1 over k times a normal period for tangent, do you see that that formula is going to be pi over k instead of 2 pi over k? Because the normal period for sine and cosine is 2 pi. The normal period for tangent is 1 pi. So if this is saying 1/2 theta up here, then that means that I have pi over 1/2, which is going to be pi times the reciprocal. And so I get a period of 2 pi. So my period is going to be twice as big as what it normally is. And then my phase shift, that's still setting this equal to 0. So I have theta over 2 minus pi over 4, set it equal to 0. So I have theta over 2 equal to positive pi over 4. And I could either cross multiply or recognize that I could multiply both sides by 2. And so I get theta is equal to pi over 2 when I reduce that. So my phase shift is positive pi over 2. So we're going to go to the right, pi over 2 units. And then vertical shift, our favorite, we're going to go up 1. All right, so then I'm going to pull out some graph paper. And so I'm going to start my rough draft. And I always leave a little bit on the left when I deal with tangent because I know that normally I start at the origin. So we're going to do everything but the phase shift on this rough draft. All right. So normally, let's see what we've got to do. We don't have an amplitude change. So now let's talk about our period. So I have my 4 dashes just like I normally would at pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi. And then even over here, I had one at negative pi over 2, right? I'm sorry, I shouldn't write that there yet because I do have a change. So my period is now 2 pi. And so you'll notice my k value was 1/2. So that means that my scale factor is 2, my horizontal scale factor. So what I wrote at pi over 2, I'm going to double that, and it's going to be the same thing, but now at pi instead of pi over 2. It's going to take twice as many steps to get there. What was at pi is now going to be at 2 pi. What was at 3 pi over 2 is now going to be at 3 pi. And what was at 2 pi is now going to be at 4 pi. So notice, just so you can see it, one period of tangent was pi, and now it's 2 pi. So that got changed. So that means here I'm going to have pi, I'm going to have 2 pi, I'm going to have 3 pi, and I'm going to have 4 pi. And then reflected across the x-axis, this one's going to be negative pi. So then I can also do my vertical shift. Again, I'm doing everything but this phase shift. So my new midline is going to be at y is equal to 1. Okay, So now, because I changed my units from what I had before, let me zoom out just a little bit. So I had units here at negative pi over 2, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, etc. I've changed those units so I can do exactly the same thing but with my new units. So now instead of having an asymptote at pi over 2, I have negative pi over 2, I have one at negative pi. I have an intercept at 0, but remember that intercept is going to happen on my midline, not on the x-axis. I have an asymptote now at pi instead of pi over 2. And then I have a intercept at pi, which is now 2 pi. And then I had an asymptote at 3 pi over 2, but that's now at 3 pi. And then at 2 pi, I had an intercept. So at 4 pi, I'm going to have an intercept. Okay. And then we said to the right 1, or to the right pi over 4 is going to be up 1, and to the left is going to be down 1. So we're looking at this, again, without the phase shift. So to the right pi over 4 goes up 1, to the left pi over 4 goes down 1. And then here I don't have it to the right, but to the left I would go down 1, so there's this much of it left over. And if you wanted to stop at 3 pi, that's fine. I'm just trying to be a little bit consistent. Okay, so we've done everything but the phase shift. So now if I want to add in that phase shift, that means I've got to move it pi over 2. So what we need to figure out is how many dashes is pi over 2. So if I look at my original dashes, one full dash is pi. So that means this is going to be 1/2 of a dash to get to pi over 2. And I'm going to move it to the right pi over 2. So I'm going to line this up the same so the y-axis is in the same place. I've got my vertical shift up 1 unit. But then everything here, notice it's one blue grid to get to that pi over 2. So everything is going to move over one blue grid. So what was 2 blue grids to the left of the y-axis is going to be 1. What was 1 blue grid to the left is now going to be at the origin. This one moves to the right 1 blue grid. This moves to the right 1 blue grid. And then this moves to the right 1 blue grid. So my pi is still right here, but my graph shifted pi over 2 units to the right. So I don't have an asymptote there anymore. I have an asymptote at 3 pi over 2. So then what happened at the next step, let's see, this moves over to 2 pi. And then what was at 2 pi moves over 1. So this is still pi. Let's see, 2 lines. This is 2 pi. And then we'd have 3 pi, right? So 2 pi now has an intercept. And then the next one over moves like this. This one moves over to the right one. And then I have an asymptote. And you'll notice it's 1 space to the right of 3 pi because that moved pi over 2 steps to the right. Then I would have an asymptote, a midline point. And so it looks something like this, where this is at 4 pi. And we've got something like this. So everything shifted to the right, pi over 2 units. So this was negative pi.